Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram RPG Podcast for another installment of Choose Your Own Adventure. This is a Blast from the Past, Part 2.
All right, welcome back to Nastagram Choose Your Own Adventure. We're back. This is John. I'll be your DM today.
This is NPR.
Hey, this is Dan playing Sumanus, the elf.
This is Josh. I'm playing Veet, the street urchin chaos sorcerer guy.
Hey, it's Ryan. I am Hilgus Hirlikit, the warden, paladin, lover of all things food related.
And this is Jake, and I am playing Shazim, the warlock genie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And together, we are
The Hard Boys! Wow. Saving that one forever.
You have just found that your quarry is missing. Quarry. Words. Found that your quarry is missing. And upon re-entering the town from the gate, the smashed gatehouse, you are now in a bustling city.
this fucking Veet's territory.
It is, not Vragos size, but it is a pretty well established town. The foundations that you saw coming in, those make up many of the large center of town buildings, like workshops and stores and some larger houses, and then spread out. And you look, the clearing where this place was is much deeper, and what Sumana said rings true. There are farmlands a bit further out as you're on top of this hill, kind of looking over this little fiefdom. You look to the side and you see these tall walls, and behind you is a closed gate with a keep behind it and several guards that kind of look at you.
Now, we crawled out of a tunnel in the side of the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I look back to where that was, and
that's through the gate.
So now there's a gate there.
Yeah, well, you kind of walked out of the compound. There was this walled keep and a couple buildings within it that you assume are where the nobility live. But beyond that, like you can kind of make out the side of the keep where the excavation site was, and there's nothing there. Maybe there's like some, like a cart and some, some people milling about, but that's about it.
Shazim smiles and
This was not here before.
Sumanus actually looks pretty happy as well.
We have found the time.
Found the time.
Or it has found us.
It would appear.
So we are not when we were?
No, we are not.
Look about you.
So looking out on the surrounding area is also altered.
It from what you can see, it looks like it should in this time frame.
I see.
Shazim, did you do this?
No. This is far beyond my power. But it is not so much of a surprise. The thing we look for is an hourglass. From what I have read, when artifacts like this are made, the shape that they are formed in is usually a clue as to the power they possess. We seek an hourglass. It is only safe to assume that such a device would control time.
I mean, people are recognizing us. Like
They
see people.
see you, but there's people milling about. You're kind of in front of the gate, and you hear Hilgus. You understand. The rest of you don't. Says, "Move along."
Perhaps we should find an inn.
It may be for the best. They do not seem to be happy that we are standing here.
You look out back out into town, and this main road, this flagstones that reach up this hill, go down and through, and beyond it, you can hear a commotion. And there's a bit of woods that this road leads into that kind of lead into town. And through it, you see what looks like some soldiers, but not attacking, just marching up the road. And in front is a man on a horse in full plate traveling up the road. And there are people kind of now starting to pour out from the buildings around, kind of lining the streets, and seem to be greeting these people as they travel up the road. And there's maybe a dozen soldiers and him.
Duke Orondo is here. It must be him. John, can I make a history check?
Yeah.
And she...
Ryan, do you want to make a history check for Hilgus?
Yeah, sure. Why not? That is that
-1.
That is one of my skills. No, I have a 1 in that because it's I have a proficiency bonus.
Nice.
Yeah,
I got a 17.
I'm from the Middle Kingdom. So, I got a 4. I got a 4.
Nice.
Hilgus, this is where you're from.
That's a Duke, all right.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in terms of?
I am just looking for any, any indication, any goods or style of dress or symbols or anything that would indicate the time that we're in.
Heraldry?
Yeah.
I believe we are in the past.
Are you
Nailed it.
from Sumanis's point of view? Would he have any knowledge of that?
He's probably studied history enough to know the broad kind of stretches of history in Regnum, but maybe unless it was pretty significant, like, it was something from the high court that he would remember or recognize.
Yeah.
Nothing would immediately jump out to him.
Let's say with a 17, you start to correlate what was written, what kind of Wilfred went over in the family history of the Kinskis, and kind of how they think this came to be.
Yep.
You are definitely in pre-awakening Middle Kingdoms.
Okay.
It's obviously before the Tory sacked this town. It looks very prosperous. Doesn't look like there's any strife of any kind. The soldiers traveling up, you don't see anyone wounded or they're bringing anyone. They do have like a couple horses with carts with stuff in them, but beyond that, it doesn't look like they've been to war.
Sumanis kind of opens the palm of his hand and says a few words. And normally, like with prestidigitation, he can conjure like a small ball of light or whatever. He's going to try that, thinking that because they're in pre-magic times, maybe his magic doesn't work.
You try that and it works.
Okay.
Yep.
Hopefully out of sight of...
Yeah.
He does it in the palm of his hands, kind of like sheltered.
You do feel a little bit of that unease, that vertigo.
Yep.
But it kind of, you're getting used to it and it kind of passes by.
This is interesting.
We should find ourselves somewhere less...
Conspicuous.
Yeah.
The magic still works here.
Let us find a place where we may discuss this in private.
I would think magic is the thing that is working the most.
Yes and no.
It is different. That is for sure. You will feel it when you use it.
Do not discuss this here. If we have gone to the time before, people will not look. They will not look well on us using magic or even discussing it.
You kind of walk down the hill as this procession walks up it. In front is this man on a barded war horse in full plate, with a long sword at his side and a shield kind of draped over the back of the horse. And off the other side of the horse, you see that lockbox.
The same one.
Mm-hmm. Kind of in like a netting off the side of it.
Okay. Veet looks fairly generic and inconspicuous in a town, so he kind of steps forward and kind of just follows along with everybody else, like waving and he doesn't speak the tongue, but just smiling.
Now with those Junko jeans and that chain wallet, he's together, sore thumb,
and is just gonna try to kind of get a better look at that and follow the procession, pretending to just be excited about it. He's not gonna literally follow along with it, just watching it go by.
Yeah, it looks like it is locked and in this netting on the side of the horse, kind of bouncing as he proceeds up the hill. Some of the soldiers break off and kind of mill about with other people. The rest of them follow him up the hill into the keep.
I flip a copper piece subtly into the cart as it goes by.
Okay, you do that.
All right.
There's enough ruckus going on that nobody really pays attention to that.
Make my way back to my companions and say, I can't understand anything they're saying, but I do think we're not just back at a certain time, but a very specific time. I think that is the arrival of this item. Somehow, Shazim, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but it brought us back to when it arrived.
Yes. Sure.
But how did it bring us back when it wasn't even here?
It was... Would you like me to try to explain time?
Why don't we find an inn and we can watch Primer a few times?
Simonis looks around and, I mean, are there kind of inns around?
Yeah, there's what looks like a inn in the middle of the city.
Well,
Simonis, you realize that there would definitely be no elves here.
my
and you would
friends,
stick out like a sore thumb.
Let
And
us
my
hope
homeless
that
folks.
we have not come to a time when our lands are at war. There were many wars between your lands and Aura, my homeland, and I am Orin.
I don't see any of your kind either there.
We might have to Leonard Nimoy those years.
I kind of Veet grabs Sue's arm and kind of pulls him off to the side. I do have a disguise kit.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of
Do you
just
have any white face in there?
come standard. And duck into the side and
Almost took this guy's self. Almost.
Me too. I almost took the
So
warlock
close.
power to just do it at will.
Oh,
just gonna do my best to make Sue not look like an elf.
yeah.
As obviously,
Yep.
just look like a little soft boy.
I got rosy cheeks.
Yeah, you do a
An
good
old woman.
I'll say you do a good enough job that as long as nobody looks too closely at him or takes the cowl off his head, they wouldn't be able to tell.
I put my hair down.
Like, yeah. But you find an inn after you do that and walk in. There's already a bit of a party going on.
You know, it would be really useful. Bag of jams.
Well,
I already thought of it.
Oh, man.
I make a note to future requisitions from Pharaoh.
leave
But
me.
what if we time travel? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, our currency will be out of date.
Yep.
And I kind of walk in and I sort of, step to the side a little bit. Veet's good at just looking inconspicuous in a crowd. And I take in other people's reaction to us.
Yep.
Especially Sue, see if anybody thinks he looks out of place, and also Shazim,
Yep.
see how people react to him.
There's a bit of a look when you guys come in, since you are strangers, but generally people are already buying drinks for soldiers and kind of reminiscing and talking and telling stories. They don't really pay you too much mind.
All right, let us find somewhere to sit.
Most of the hubbub is happening at the bar, with people just gallivanting and telling stories. So you were able to find a quiet corner near the fireplace, and And then actually, you realize for the first time, it's like fall. It's cold outside.
Global warming.
Yeah.
Hilgus, you understand the tongue they speak?
I understand some. It is an old language. It is not my language, but I know some of the words.
That's some words better than me. We should have. Do we need a story of who we are and why we are here?
Well, I am Hilgus Hirlikit.
Let's go with that then. Do you have like a holy symbol or anything?
Yeah, I would probably have is it, I just looked it up, Valinor?
What if we tell everyone we're a traveling band?
Oh, not this again.
That's Vasinar, the knight from the Tory Pantheon.
Okay.
So,
It's a big hit.
yeah.
We should probably be like a cheesemonger business.
Yeah.
Because it's his de facto, reference point.
The
Orange cheese.
Knight of Cheeses, and this is my retinue.
Knight of cheddar.
Does Shazim seem to get like any strong looks or anything?
Not aggressive, but they look, and
Okay.
you hear some people say, "What is an Orin doing here?"
All right. So it's like we're in Alabama.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right.
Dear Lord.
But less aggressive.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, what is an Orin doing here, or why did he use the front door?
Wow.
Well,
Find ourselves a little seat, and I pull out a pouch of coins. I slide it over to Hilgus, and I say, "Well, we are travelers.
Would anyone like to peruse the local fairs?
Yes, trust you to get us what we should need."
Splendid.
my friends, there is good news. We know where to look now. We have found when, and we have already found where. You found the secret place where they keep the box. You know how to pick the lock to open the door. Our mission has not changed. It's simply become, I look around, more complicated.
And when we get this thing, you know how to use it and
I totally lie. I say, sure.
find our way back. Sue, do you still have the coin from Luca?
Sumanus, he's kind of got his hood pulled over, and you see him reach up to like his chest and press against his chest, and he nods without like bringing his head up. He's clearly trying to stay hidden.
And perhaps we already know that we have succeeded because the box was empty.
Hilgus' mind blows up.
He kind of shakes his head like to clear it.
This is very, very confusing.
That calls for a drink. Hilgus?
You walk up to the bar and grab somebody.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I am Hilgus Hirlikit,
Before he goes up,
favorite son of... Oh,
I cast prestidigitation to kind of clean up his armor and crest.
Okay.
Just to make him look a little bit more
little shiny.
presentable.
There's magical lights, shiny lights,
Yeah.
and little
His hair kind of
Scrubby
fucking
bubbles.
blows in the air.
He's a glam paladin.
Well met, Hilgus. Where are you from?
That is 100% his response.
this is going to be like Titanic. I'm probably going to tell them the name of a town that doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
yeah. But I tell
Where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It is not far from here.
Never heard of it. Yes. What can I get you?
Smaller. For my friends and I, we would like some beverages. Do you have mead or?
Of course.
Yes. Mead and any kind of cured meats and cheeses.
Yes, we have some local. We can cut off a piece of the wheel. They have like a big wheel, cheese wheel there, and then it goes over and like slices off a wedge.
Could
kind of gets you a little plate
yes.
going.
More of the same, please. That's not
More. cuts you off a big wedge of cheese and some like dried meat.
Splendid.
Give me the hardest thing you got. And by that I mean cheese.
He says, "What are you doing in Otoro? You traders?
Yes,
Not
we are.
stealing anything.
No, definitely not stealing."
Actually, my deception's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, we are here to trade goods.
Well, what do you have? Perhaps I can.
We
Get
have
you in
some.
touch.
We have some cheeses of our own. If you would like to trade cheeses, some meats,
Well, not me, perhaps, but
rope.
He's just the innkeeper looks at him,
Okay,
and he's
okay.
clearly like just looking at what's on him and listing it and just saying it.
He takes
A shield?
Hilgus opens his bag and starts looking at it. It's like just starts naming the
he
things.
says,
that
"Yeah,
are-
yeah. Well, this will be 50 marks."
A few potions. Here, splendid. Is this enough?
He looks at it. Where is this from? Never seen this coin.
No, it is from my land, which is not far from here, but it is small and lesser known.
He kind of looks at it, investigates it. Good enough. Kind of pockets it, and hands you all the meats and mead. Hilgus comes back with like a handful of food and a couple cups of ale.
I follow him over just to help
Oh, yeah.
carry stuff
I have
back.
done well. They think we are we are traders, not traitors, but
Good, better move.
Yes.
Better
And do we
Yes.
have lodging?
no, not yet. But we can lodge here. They do not seem averse to us.
All right. I look around as we settle in and just kind of make sure I don't see anybody that looks like they're paying too much attention or trying to listen in
Yep.
before we get talking. So we know where we need to go then.
And Shazim, you say you know how to control it, yes?
Truthfully, no, I do not. But we must acquire the item, and then we learn to use it, hopefully, to return us.
It must be a thing of great power.
And it is likely that this Duke does not know.
He put it in a safe box hidden in his treasure room.
Does it seem like, an ornate hourglass, magical or not, would be like a valuable thing in this time period?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
I don't know if you want me to roll, but I'm just curious how foreign the idea of a magic item is in this time. I know it's pre-awakening. They don't really exist. Like, is it the kind of thing where, like, if you found a really fancy looking thing, would you even consider there was a chance it was a magic item?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what you know of pre-awakening, the probably the most that you would guess is that it's ornate enough that it's worth money to him, but not that it's magical.
I say in this time, there was so little magic, and many people did not even believe in it. And it is not something one would expect or even question. It is unlikely that he suspects it to be magic.
John, did Veet feel anything weird when he cast prestidigitation?
Yeah, you feel that little bit of a vertigo feeling.
Okay.
But it kind of washes over you.
Well, we should be sure then to not arise any tension in that area.
If necessary, however, this is something we can use to our advantage. Magic users are unheard of.
From what we learn at the Tradicium, all magics, the 13 magics, they are consolidated, yes, to the skulls, to the power.
This is a Western theory. Yes.
What is the Eastern theory?
There are many.
Well, we can lodge here. We can stay here. We seem that we can arise no special attention. But do we use attention or other means to get our way into the keep? Speaking not the tongue and Well, relying on old habits, I would lean towards the latter myself.
We need to come up with a plan. A great robbery.
Is your confidence such that once we arrive, once we have it in our possession, you will be able to use it immediately?
No.
It is a castle and is guarded. That has not always stopped some. But I'm not sure that is all of our gifts, so...
But we have seen the vault. We've seen the inside. We've seen where the thing is hidden. And perhaps opening that door, you remember a bit of the way the locks tumble.
I do. But, well, in the past, in Vragos, the turn of a tool is one thing. Turn of a tongue is also something I used to rely on. That is no use to me here. So, to get us in, well, we rely only on stealth. I look at Hilgus, like, eyebrow raised.
We could present ourselves to the Duke, pretend to be foreign merchants come to trade, or wise men. Perhaps convince him to even show it to us.
Something else Sumanis thinks is we do not know where in time or when in time we are. There was those people. They ran for their lives. Yes, something was coming. Perhaps this keep will soon come under attack.
That would be opportune, if we could time it right. But I have no way of knowing this thing, and it could be tomorrow, could be in 100 years.
I imagine that there's a reason we were brought to this time. And there's a reason that those spirits, those echoes of the past, were there. This time must be important. It is possible that we have only until dawn. Perhaps someone else takes it then.
Well, we have all the time and more than we could need, I guess.
If only you had gotten those gems, we could try to trade the gems for the hourglass.
Yeah.
That would have been very handy.
Well, I'll note it to Pharaoh.
Perhaps we could speak to people around the town and try to learn more. Some historic events that may help us to find out when we are.
We rely on Hilgus then, as we always do, of course. But I'm sure you know more of these things than I do, Shazim, and maybe you as well, Sue, but my little experience with these items of power, some of them want to be found. Maybe we can trust in that.
Sumanis is kind of nodding, and he glances at the big red gem in the center of your turban.
When a thing holds a power for so long, sometimes that power bleeds off. I believe that the hourglass sat in that case for so long that when you opened it and touched the space where it was, you may have touched it through time. And perhaps that is why we are here.
V kind of looks down at his hands. He's playing with his lucky coin.
Yep.
His new lucky coin.
Luck is what you make it.
Shazim, you are either very smart or crazy, because none of this makes any sense at all.
Before coming to your land, I spent many, many years sipping coffee and discussing philosophy.
I don't suppose any of you have gifts that would help us speak the tongue of this land?
No.
Also, almost took comprehend languages.
Almost took tongues.
So fucking close.
I'm glad you all chose spells.
I got burning hands.
I'm ready to fuck some shit up.
Well, I would be happy to talk to all the people of the town and find out more information. But what do we need to know?
John, I actually, the languages that I had studied, Tory was one. So I don't, this is Midlands though?
It's the Middle Kingdoms, but it's to the west. So there's probably people who speak Tory.
I mean,
It's
mine,
pretty common.
Yep. Okay. I ask Hilgus, do you think here in these Middle Kingdoms they also speak the language of the Tory? This I know.
There are probably some who do.
You probably think the more well-read,
Yes.
like the noble and his family
Yes.
probably speak Tory.
Nobles, merchants, those in the keep would probably speak Tory.
What time of day is it, John?
Afternoon.
I can take a look around the town for what that's worth. I mean, I'm sure we all can, but keep a look at the keep and maybe an eye for watches and whatnot. This is something that, well, the only thing here that is not a stranger to me is a guarded place that people don't want us to get into. So maybe I should focus there.
Do they sell wine?
I will get you. Would you like some wine?
Ask what vintage.
Oh,
Ask him what the oldest he has is and what the newest he has is.
I will find out.
As Hilgus gets up, Simonis says, admittedly, it would be interesting to see Simonis born again. We simply wait.
I'm so glad I wasn't there for that.
He watches Hilgus go up to the bar.
You want to see your mom's puss?
Yeah, why not?
I forget how
Right down the
times.
pipe.
I forget how times work in the.
Elves just lay eggs. It's a weird, it's a
gotta
weird
go.
bird thing.
What if one of us fucks your mom, though?
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Then we know the truth.
The grandfather paradox.
Who's your daddy, Sumanis?
Schrodinger's granddaddy?
I forget the times.
You made a fucking time travel game and you didn't look
I know.
If I could turn back.
What year is on that fucking map up there? Some fucking giant awesome nerd made 370 something?
You get a range like it says, oh, my oldest, more of a prized possession than for sale, but it's from the Tory capital. It's in the 340 year, and then recent. Well, we have wine that is made locally. What can I get you?
Both, please.
All right.
My friend is a fan of wines of various ages and would like to sample your oldest and youngest wines.
I can't seem to. I can't part with my. It'll be 1,000 marks for the oldest.
I love how he just. I love how Hilgus just misses the point completely and buys 1,000 gold bottle of wine.
Do I have that much money on me?
So you gave him probably like a couple gold for 50 marks.
Yeah.
You figure it's like 200 to 300 gold.
We have 150.
Yeah.
I also imagine the way that Hilgus, like, when he says a number, like 50 marks, he puts down one gold and just looks at him and then puts down another one. Really slow plays it out.
That's what you call negotiation.
Yep.
Maybe
I only have this much.
this is a Hano.
This is a Hano moment, dear Lord.
I'm like,
Look, I can get you something that's 50 years old for 20 of those. 20 coins.
well, I think he will still like that. He likes wines very much.
All right.
I will let you know if he is impressed. Also, we would like lodging.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, with this, it's for a night on the house.
Splendid. Yes.
He hands you these two distinct bottles. One that's a bit dusty and has like a wax seal on it, and the other is like brandy new, like, a little cask with.
I thought that was a 50-50 chance that John would say either it's free on the house or 1,000 marks.
That'll be 20,000 marks.
Shazim, I have this wine. In this little thing here. It is new.
Did you find out what year it is?
Yes, this is from this. I didn't find out what year it was now, but this is new.
I love it.
Excuse.
The other one's 50 years old.
Yeah, so this one is 50. They had a Tory one that was from very, very long. It was from very long ago.
Hilgus, the point
was to get you wine because you like wines, and I.
Thank you very much.
The wine, the
This is
50-year-old wine, says 380 on it.
Oh,
And that reference gives you, it's right around the time when the Tory made their attack. But you can't really nail down exactly when that was. But
the year is around 430. They will be at war with the Tory very soon. Perhaps they already are and do not know. Or perhaps that was returning warriors that we saw.
Well, we should tell them if they're.
Did it look like they had been in battle?
Hilgus,
No.
remember, we do not need to get involved in all affairs.
from your perspective, they raided or they pilfered something.
Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know who said it, but I think your theory that this attack may come as soon as today is correct.
Simonis is nodding his head. It is possible, yes, that Witherford, he said that the hourglass came from a list from a great wizard from long ago. Perhaps it is the Duke that found this old place himself and brought it back. Not a object of... not the trophy object, but one found and brought.
Well, for what that does for us, I will do what I can. Take a look around.
Well, if we were to tell them that there is going to be an attack, that could be a way to get us into the keep.
Veet stands, finishes off a piece of cheese, and says, "It sounds like it might arouse more suspicion than we want. It's one way to find ourselves in a cellar, but
then we will be where it is, and then we can get it, and Shazim will know how to use it, and we will go back home.
let's put that on the list, but maybe we put that one lower."
And then we win again.
Veet's going to walk back outside.
Yep.
And just kind of walk around, look around, and
Perhaps we should stick together. No?
I am used
I
to...
don't know that you can be unseen.
Yeah.
I say, I'm used to not catching anyone's eye. I've been spending years on the streets looking unimportant.
Yes, we were attacked by pestilent wolves, and he disappeared. And then we defeated them, and he came back.
Just take a look where to start, and then we can get our eyes together at the right place.
Good. Well, you go your way and I will go mine. I will walk around outside of the town on the edge. I would like to see the outer wall of that keep.
Sumanis would like to come with you.
Let us go.
Maybe good to take Hilgus, too.
Come on, Hilgus.
So I can stay here and eat.
Well, they might need someone to speak for a fair one and a...
I say, and if there
Not
is
so
trouble,
Oh, if there is trouble, you will want me there.
you're the only one with armor.
Veet's going to basically just kind of try to find a sack of stuff,
Yep.
Nonsense, and just know that the thing that anyone important looks at the least is some fucking...
Guy carrying a thing to a place.
Yep. And just basically use that to kind of walk back and forth, just looking like he's trudging along. But using it just to take in the keep, take in the guard situation,
Yep.
what entry points there are, what the rotation's like, who's up on the walls, things like that.
Sure. So yeah, you kind of walk up near the hill, and ever since the detachment came back, the ones that broke off and continued up the hill. They're standing guard around this guardhouse, not like at attention. Some of them are chatting. There are a couple up in the guard post in the gatehouse. The gate itself is open. There are like delegations going in. You see some civilians, they go up to the guard and chat for a bit and then they head in. So it's not like it's at a high alert or anything.
Okay.
People are going to maybe pay respects to the Duke or talk to him about what he saw or what, something like that. But
And I make my way over like I'm dropping or getting something from those wagons and carts that are on the area, that wall that used to be or will one day be excavated.
yeah.
And just see if there looks like there might be any way in or over on that side too.
Yeah, you head in. Are you going to use your ability to remain unseen, or are you just going to try to do it naturally?
If I'm moving around outside, I'm not. If I have to go through the gate to get in there, then I do just for when I'm passing through the gate, just for like a moment.
Yeah, to get to that point, it's within the wall.
Okay. Then I do for a moment, just kind of like walking by and then take on that power and just slip right through the gate and then reappear on the inside, just walking with something.
Yeah, nobody really pays much mind to you. You're carrying a sack, and it looks like you're going someplace you should be going. So, there's a couple guards. It's not too active in here. Like I said, there are people moving in and out of the gate, going into a big manor house that's to the left of the keep, going in, and you actually see the horse of the Duke kind of getting the barding taken off and being put into a stable. And you actually see the Duke outside of that manor, his helmet off and some of his armor off now, just chatting with people.
Okay. And then I just make my way
over there.
Back. Yeah. Back over there.
Yep. There's like a little storehouse and like a cart over there. But other than that, it's kind of tucked away like in a corner between the keep and the wall.
Okay. And that's it. Basically, just I get a feel for the place, and then I'll make my way back out and eventually back to the tavern.
Yep. Yeah. One thing you do notice that because this part is the keep kind of is a circular cylindrical keep, but it kind of tucks into the wall, and then there's like these like sharp corners of where that hole would be. Then it attaches to the wall there.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a shadow area where if you needed to like get over the wall and get in there, you're thinking to yourself, if I was going to get in here, I'd probably go up there and then into this little shadow corner.
All right. I'll leave it at that. And then I'll wait back at the tavern for the others to return.
Yep.
It is amazing. All these people, they have been dead for so long, but they are not dead. They're alive. And us, we are dead. We are not born. And yet all happens at once.
Sumanis he's walking with you. I imagine Hilgus is kind of following up the rear.
I stopped to kind of ponder what you just said, because you're blowing my mind, man.
Sumanis says, it is, if it all happens simultaneously, that it does not flow from one way to the other.
But look, now we stand here and breathe as do they. We all happen at once, here now.
Yes, stacked on top of each other, rather than a stream. I confess.
How far back did we go? Like what year?
It's before. It's kind of right before the awakening. So a couple hundred years,
and we were like 200 years after.
Yeah, 250-ish years probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simona says, I confess, this hourglass in the hands of the wrong person, it could be an incredible weapon.
I wonder if this hourglass is part of one of the great artifacts that we have studied.
Yes. It feels like that, doesn't it? Have you used your magic here?
I have not.
It is disorienting. It wobbles.
My magic comes from a different place.
You see Zumanus kind of look you over. It comes from the stone?
No. Well, no. The stone is an extension of my magic. I promised you a tale over dinner. When I was young, after my father died, I went through his shop. He had many things, and in his shop I found a lamp. I polished it and cleaned it, planning to sell it. And when I did so, blue smoke poured from it.
Like when you vanished before.
Exactly. And out came a djinn.
Oh. What?
A magic creature from another world. And it granted me 3 wishes. My first, I wished to be young again. And my second, I was a great fool. Because you see, only those who are great fools think they are wise. And I thought I was smarter than the djinn. So I wished to have its power. And so it gave me its power. I believe it made me one of them. I shrug. But there were no instructions. I do not know how to use this power. That is why I have come to be with your people, to learn. That is why I am part of the mythos, so that they may teach me how to use this power.
The Judicium seems like it has much to offer in the ways of magic and the arcane. Do you consider your gift a curse, then?
No. I have lived an interesting life, and it has become far more interesting since this happened.
And perhaps one day you will be able to grant wishes as well?
Perhaps.
Oh.
Perhaps at 14th level.
You are not held captive by whoever possesses that.
I do not believe so.
Well, I will keep it safe if ever it is available.
I do believe that if, as I said, it is simply an extension of my power. One of the first things I learned was how to create this. Because you see, the creature that made me did not use a gem. And I do not think I must use a gem. If this were destroyed, I could put my power in another object.
Can you bring others with you?
I kind of look like I hadn't really thought about it. I can bring things, but I have never tried to bring a person.
It could be a way in.
We all hide in the gem?
If it is possible.
Probably not best to disappear on the street, but when we're in the room, perhaps we try it. And hopefully it does not turn you inside out or anything. So gruesome.
My learnings with the cynosaurs, they are limited. I can travel short distances, but nothing so great as Luca or what you saw with him.
Short distances. Could you go through that wall? I point to the wall of the keep.
You see him sigh, and he says, unfortunately, it must be seen with Sumanus' eyes.
Took me a second to unpack that.
With your eyes?
Yeah. You have to see where you're going. Okay.
As you guys are talking and walking.
By the way, I'm like sketching into a stone, like a picture of someone flipping them off. We're going to bury it where they're going to dig later on. So they're going to dig in the future and they're going to find someone who's flipping them off. Just wanted to throw that in there.
It seems that Veet kind of pops out of nowhere and you meet back up with them.
Cool.
Walking on the street.
I shoot him with a lightning bolt. I'm scared.
Well, this
Case the joint.
it is a keep, but not one at any kind of alert. Garrison is not so large, and many enter or leave. There are places inside that I think that we could get to, and we could do it in the cover of darkness, if that is how we wish to. At least to get inside the compound. From there, it would get more difficult. To enter the gate, well, it seems that many here do, but we would, of course, rely on Hilgus to speak our way in. So, I don't know where that leaves us. Have you found anything on your travels?
I shake my head.
But we have been discussing other options. The ways in which we can move. I can step in and out of short distances. And our friend here, Shazim, he has an interesting story to tell you someday. But he can hide within that gem.
And one can carry the gem. All right, then. That is something to consider.
Didn't take us long to exploit that one.
Shazim, one thing that you think might be an issue.
I cannot bring people into the gem, by the way. That's 6th level.
You're gonna let's try it with a cat though first. Let's see what happens. He comes out with like a cat coming out of his neck.
Fucking a fly.
One thing that occurs to you while thinking about this, the problem that you're in, where you're in another time, supposed, or that you think,
Oh, fuck. I already
is that you don't know what, like, if you get something and then you go back to where you're from, you're not entirely sure, like, you're of your time. And what they've been feeling from casting spells is probably because they're kind of affecting magic around them in their own, like, reality. And you're not sure if bringing physical objects would work at all. You don't know if you grab something and then somehow shifted back into your real time, it would travel with you.
Okay.
Because it's of this time.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So if I was to eat cheese in this time,
It'll go away.
It'll
go away.
stay
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like
I'll
what
come-
you'd
yeah.
vanish and the cheese would just fall to the ground.
I'll come back and I'll be like,
Partially digested cheese.
I'm hungry again.
But you do think that you're in another stream of time, that you can affect things that will change your reality when you move back.
Let us go to a quiet place where we will not be seen, so we may discuss things.
We have the rooms, yeah?
Yes.
Very well.
Hilgus, lead the way.
I will lead the way.
So, yeah, we go back to...
It's getting in the evening, and you go up to your rooms. Small affair, but plenty of privacy for discussing schemes and plots.
I'm going to go to my library for a moment, but I do not know when it is. Perhaps it is occupied by another resident. If I am not back in 4 hours, I am probably dead. All right, I'm gonna
Pop in.
poof,
Shazim!
poof into blue smoke.
Yep.
It gets sucked into the gem.
Never to return.
Look normal.
Yeah, it looks normal.
Okay.
Yep. You do note that the magic you use, that is a certain source of magic doing that trick, doesn't seem to affect you.
I didn't feel like the way he said he felt.
No, but you do know that the jinn that affected you was thousands of years old.
Yeah,
So-
it's like it's
Probably
different
existed.
magic.
Yeah.
I take like something mundane
Mhm.
that I just happen to have sitting around in there, like a random fucking book,
Yeah.
and I go back.
Okay. Shazim reappears, but there's nothing in your hand. You come back and it's empty.
I'm looking at my empty hand. The library is intact. It is fine. And I did not feel the thing you say you feel when you use your magic.
I'd look over at Veet as well.
He's different for all of us.
I believe I draw on a separate power, unlike what the Westerners use. But another thing, I look at my empty hands. I say, there was a book I had borrowed from the mythos, and I had meant to bring it with me back here to this room, but it did not come. Or perhaps it did, but it has not been made yet.
So what does this mean for us?
I believe this means that things are not meant to leave their own time. We clearly are an exception. I believe that the hourglass may also be an exception. Or perhaps it is not. But if you are to find a bag of gems, I do not think you'll be able to keep it.
Troubling. But if we find this hourglass and we say we take it with us, but maybe it does not come.
I do not know.
Even if that is the case, we will be back.
Perhaps we need to destroy the hourglass.
Seems
I can give you some advice on destroying artifacts from our previous games. No.
destroy the very thing that brought us here and maybe the only thing that could send us back.
Yes. And then we will either live out our lives here and the future us will never come, or perhaps we will cease to exist, or perhaps we will exist as if we never came here. I do not know.
There is one merit to this suggestion, yes. This artifact is very powerful. Who we bring it back to, yeah. Simonis kind of shrugs. It is something that can change the fate of the world.
What if we do not bring it back, but we put it somewhere that we would find it later?
This is a clever idea.
Simonis is nodding approvingly.
So we did not find the hourglass in the box because it wasn't ever there to begin with?
Because we put it somewhere else, perhaps.
I think I'm finally getting it.
We just have to trust that this thing has enough.
We should have left ourselves a note. Edit that in.
There's an old dusty piece of parchment and you can't read the writing on it.
Nice.
It has enough of a mind of its own that it would send us back once it has gotten from us what perhaps it wants.
Yes, but the first thing before all of this, we must find it. We must get it.
And that means getting in there. I look out the window.
Do you think you can get in there?
I can get in there.
Alone?
Alone, yes. Maybe I could help get all of us into the courtyard, say, but at some point it will be, I rely on you. And, well...
To fight, you mean?
I do not see the four of us sneaking, and I do not think anyone's looking for a solo adventure.
Perhaps a distraction? Do any of you have magic that could be distracting?
Simonis shrugs a little and he says, there is a side effect of a casting I do, in which it will rain.
Rain is hardly a distraction.
In a place where it wouldn't be expected, it might.
Indoors?
Yes.
I think anything I would do that would attract attention would raise an alarm. It could help focus eyes elsewhere, but it would also bring attention overall from the garrison. I don't know if that would help us. Could give us a moment to act.
We do have the advantage that even the suggestion or existence of magic will be hard to understand.
But we need to project it away from us. Yes? That is the point of a distraction, not to draw them towards. I'm going to use the hourglass to go back in time to pick different spells
Yeah, me too.
when I make my character.
Excellent choice. Actually, you know what I'll do?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Shazim for a wish
Okay.
to go back in time to pick different spells.
You're going to go to a time in which Shazim is level 14.
Shazim is level 14.
You can get a
literally-
wish.
Exactly.
Go back.
We have cracked this game wide open.
Wait, did we just get infinite wishes?
Yes, we did.
If you can go to a time when Shazim is level 14, that means we were successful here already. So
Yeah.
So if
Game
that-
over.
Yeah.
Game over.
If that works, we win.
Simonis says, if I make this effect, it is possible that I can then move away quickly and unnoticed.
Hopefully drawing the guards away from where we will be.
Yes.
What do you think of this feat?
How far?
Maybe 100 yards.
It's not so bad. If I could get us into the keep, make this happen on the outside, well, we might have a moment as they spring into action to get further inside. But we will definitely be taking a chance.
The keep itself will be active and awake.
It's either that or we do the best we can to remain quiet.
Did that not work?
No.
Okay. I
Yeah,
wrote a note that said I brought the
It did, actually.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
You'll find out at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I assume it's the perfect temperature in there.
Oh boy. Simonis
rich.
says, it is also possible that we create a distraction outside of the keep.
Okay. And then?
Then, if it is of great enough concern, it pulls their attention. These are great odds we work with. Otherwise, Simonis would not suggest that fire be an option.
How long do you think it will take for you to pick the lock?
Which lock? There might be more than one along the way. I'm a bit out of practice, though I've had a couple opportunities at the Tradicium.
I think about that for a half second.
Oh, there's a training area for.
Yeah, there's several.
Guys, I got a plan. We just wait an hour. I turn my focus item into a sheet of paper. You just slide it under the door and I unlock it.
Dear Lord. The DM definitely makes that paper tear.
They really didn't think this through.
It's bananas.
There are many doors between the courtyard and that iron door below.
You think they all will be locked?
Not all, but maybe some, and some will be guarded.
The other option, we believe there will be an attack soon. We wait for the attack and use that as our distraction.
I believe this is the only thing of scale, yes, that will provide us the cover we need.
Well, if we think it is so fortuitous that we are brought back the very night this would happen, what is the day then? We could be ready, and if it occurs, we let fate guide us, and if not, well, we make our own luck tomorrow.
John, can I make maybe with the nature check that I made and like experiencing it, do I know where they were like running to essentially or where they were being attacked by?
They were running from the town to the main road that you came from.
So the enemy most likely isn't coming from
The main road.
And it would be coming from kind of the
Probably west, north, you would have to think.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you looking out over it when you were there, and in your time it looked like it was like wilderness to the west. But now when you're on top of the hill and you looked over both east and west were farmlands and, rutted roads, but it was open. So
Okay. As it's like kind of approaching late afternoon, I'm going to either go to the windows of the inn or anywhere where I can get a good vantage point for each direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look for any smoke, in case, things were being burned along the way that maybe it didn't kind of raise any suspicion originally, but now that I know to look for it.
Sure. So I'll say that with what you know about what might be out there, you look to the west towards the Tory Empire, and you don't see anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
The dust, the twilight is coming up over that side, and besides a couple farmhouses where you can kind of spot little
Sure.
chimney fires, but other than that,
Mhm.
nothing.
Okay. Simonis comes back into our quarters. He shrugs.
I say that we eat, we drink, we share our tales, and then, right before the sun rises, if this place is attacked, we use that opportunity to move. If it is not, then tomorrow is a new day, and we make a new plan.
This works for Simonis.
Very well. I found a couple spots inside the keep, and they would be unlikely to be closely watched in the event of attack. Away from the main defenses, if we got around the walls, I think I could scale and lower a rope. It would get us inside the courtyard. From there, we would have to hope for enough chaos to get us further in.
Simonis nods. Yes, I can help with these walls as well.
I go to the window and I kind of point out where I was talking about, in the event that we can kind of either side, I guess, the side that things aren't coming from,
Yeah.
that we could go towards, and that part of the walls would probably,
Beware, yeah.
if you're watching for an attack, you're not necessarily as closely watching for an infiltrator.
Right.
As we're kind of standing at the window, like looking at the wall, he turns to you and he says, "This is part of your life before the Tradicium."
In a way, yeah. And sometimes you have to wait and
Get lucky?
get lucky.
Simonis nods.
All right, you guys rest up for the night, and you set watches, or
I don't think, do we?
I think we might, only in the sense that we want to be like
Make sure we're up.
and
before
ready to
dawn.
go when fit hits the shan.
Yep. Okay. You set watches, and you notice at night, somebody rides into town pretty late, like 10, on a horse, whoever's up at that time, and rides up to the gate. Gate's closed right now, but he speaks with kind of poke your head out of the window, and they speak with the guard there and kind of show something to him, and they open the gate, and he goes inside. And maybe like an hour later, that same man comes out and then rides back down the road.
Is he just like, is he like in a hurry, or is he?
No,
Okay.
He looks like a messenger.
Okay.
No like real armor or anything.
Sure. Was his horse like lathered when it came in? Like, was he like he had been riding hard?
No,
Okay.
no. But he definitely doesn't dress the way the people here do. And
Sure.
his uniform didn't match
Mhm.
that of the guardsmen.
Okay. When we switch shifts, I mention this to whomever wakes.
All right. Yeah, I think otherwise just keep a watch on the horizon.
Yep.
Veets plays with his coin as he watches out and kind of considers just how lucky they could be.
Sure. Morning comes without much more commotion. Early in the morning, as you guys are getting ready in the downstairs, a couple of guardsmen come in, and they go up to other people that you saw yesterday who came in with the Duke, and they chat a bit, and then they all head outside up the hill.
Hilgus, did you pick up anything of that?
I will check to see if I picked up anything from that.
Yeah, they're not trying to hide anything. They said that the Duke is getting ready to ride again. We need a detachment. And then they nod and they say, "Oh, all right, back on the horses again, I guess." And they'll kind of scarf down their food and head out.
must have something to do with the messenger last night.
No real rush to it or any panic or anything. It's just they're going up the hill.
Veet is certainly not a general, but been around a fair share of guarded places.
Yep.
Do you have a rough guess of what the probable garrison size of this keep is?
Sure. Yeah. Like probably 20 to 30 guardsmen on duty that you saw in various stages of coming in and out. You know, there was probably a dozen that came in with the Duke, and then plus another dozen that were already in the keep.
Okay.
Beyond that, you don't really know what other kind of maybe militia or arms that he might have. But
how many leave with this?
4. There's 2 come in, and then
Okay.
another 4 leave with him.
I mean, if we wait and the Duke,
Yep.
like,
Yeah. So, yeah, you're kind of waiting around, sitting outside of this tavern on the main road, and the Duke comes down with a detachment all on horses, probably another dozen, fully horsed, but not. He's not in his plate or anything. He's just in traveling clothes, and they have a standard bearer, and they're armed and armored, but they kind of trot out of town.
no wagons or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Were they carrying any hunting gear?
No, just
Okay.
regular arms. Yeah.
John,
Just going out for a quick piece.
was he wearing his plate mail when he came back?
Yes.
But he isn't wearing it right now.
Correct.
I say, I do not think the Duke will return.
He won't return at all.
I do not think he will.
Hoping for luck, or
He did not wear his armor. And I believe we've seen his armor.
you think that's the same armor he wore?
It seemed to be displayed as if it was important.
It's reasonable, but castles certainly can have their fair share of armor.
But
One in his treasury room?
armor of that kind, plate mail that covers a man from head to foot, it's worth a fortune.
So,
This is a prosperous village, but sort of a one armor town.
Shazim is right. It would be very unusual for him to have multiple sets of plates.
Do you have full plate?
No, I have chainmail.
Okay.
Yeah, and you haven't seen the guardsmen. Well, they have like chainmail, leather. Some have breastplates and helmets, but beyond that, there's nobody in like half plate or full plate or anything like that.
So I suppose the question is this enough of a distraction? Do we wait for... We hope others leave?
You are the expert. Or as close as we have to one.
Sumanis is nodding and he says, yes, I believe you should make this choice, Veet.
Well, they're in no state of alert. So, something... If the Duke does not return, that will change. There's a chance they could send out more to search for him. Or there's a chance they could button down. I roll the coin in my hands. And this isn't really how it works. But I'm going to use a lucky point.
Okay.
I'm going to flip it in the air.
Yep.
Do a wheel or woe.
And
Which one is that?
Is that the feet? Lucky?
Mhm.
Nice.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
I think luck would tell me that we wait for more of an opportunity. So I think high is going to be waiting.
Okay.
Low is going to be acting now.
Okay.
So really, it's just a random roll. High it is. I think a better opportunity will await us as I catch the coin. But we should be ready.
Very well.
You guys wait. Throughout the day, things seem normal.
I keep my eye on that western horizon where the Tory
Yeah.
are from.
Yep. You don't see anything out there. And you know that the Duke traveling, to get beyond the horizon, maybe a day or 2 days maybe.
Mhm.
But you wait, and you wait a day, and nothing seems to happen. Things are normal. And then night goes by, another morning, and you're waiting. And then another 6 soldiers, seems like a bit more of a panic, head out of town.
Well,
Is this what you were waiting for, Pete?
I think if things get worse, then there could be more chaos to act, but bigger risk. Now there's some alarm, there's some concern, but less forces, less distinct. Does it look like after those forces leave, does it look like they're manning the gates more? There's patrols, there's anything?
Well, what's left, there are probably a half dozen actual guardsmen left. Beyond that, there like a couple what look like civilians with their household weapons standing by, helping like do normal do whatever guardsmen would normally do when they're fully staffed.
Stable work. And,
Some have like spears out. There's like a pile of spears in the middle of the keep, just whatever the yeomen come with. But they seem to be operating the keep at a skeleton crew. Nobody really coming in or out because there's really nobody to see now, and no reason for anyone to come in and out. So the gates are closed. And all 6 guardsmen, all the 6 fully armed guardsmen, are pretty much on the front gate, patrolling it.
Well, gentlemen, I think this might be as good as we get. Do we take an extra risk and try to tell them something that could gather a couple eyes to leave?
Simona says, I do not think we would foster their trust. We are outsiders. I will admit, Simonis is impressed by your patience. I have found the humans usually to be more rash. But you wait. This is good.
Yes, well, sometimes fortune means waiting for the right time. Hilgus could go to one of the guardsmen, especially one of the townsfolk, seem more panicky. Tell them that he saw armed men riding east of town. Perhaps they would send a couple to look. Perhaps not.
Sumana says, this I think would alert them further. Perhaps actually force them to turn their eyes outward.
Yes, but if we time it for when we are inside, maybe right before dusk.
Hilgus could even offer to fight beside them.
I am not good at sneaking or hiding, so I do not know what good I will do you in the keep.
Well, if it comes to it, we might need more than that.
I am good at more than that.
You would have a reason to be there. You would be inside the walls.
With so few on patrol, perhaps you could sneak in and throw a rope over. We could simply climb to a part of the wall where there are no guards. Do this under cover of darkness. Do it quickly and hope for the best.
I can think of the spot. We go with that?
I think we go with that.
Flip the coin up in the air again. We go with that.
All right, so the 3 of you stage on the other side of that wall, kind of making a circuitous route around the town, and then getting behind like a little, cut in the hill, so you're not seen from the wall. Hilgus, you walk up to the gate and say, "You there? What's your business?" Guy who looks like a ranked member of the guard, probably their captain or sergeant or something, steps up to you.
Ah, hello.
Oh, strange accent. Where are you from?
I am from Holstad.
Never heard of it.
It is a small village, not close, but also not far.
Look, the Duke is not here. He's not accepting any visitors from Holstad. Is there something I can help you with?
No, we are.
Don't say we, don't say we, don't say we.
No, I'm just distracting you.
Curious about cheeses.
He like furrows his brow.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. You'll have to move along.
Okay.
Veet walks by and pulls in his powers and just walks right between them as they're talking.
Yep.
And into the keep, gets into the shadows at the side and kind of breathes out. Looks back and then creeps along the wall towards that inside corner.
Look, I'm gonna have to insist that you back away.
Well, if you insist. Well met, friend.
Yes. Veet, you're in the keep now, and are in the courtyard. Yeah, it's sparse in here. There's a couple guards in front of the manor. They look like villagers. And then a couple of villagers just kind of helping lug things to and from stables, that kind of thing.
Okay. I am going to take a rope.
Yep.
100-foot silk rope.
Oh, yeah.
And hoping that's a little easier to scale from the inside. And
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get up that corner of the wall, kind of bracing against the sides
Yep.
and get up to the top and drop the rope over.
Okay. Yep, you do. Roll a stealth roll.
Okay. 15?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Most people are preoccupied or looking at the front gate.
Okay.
So you're able to toss it over. The two of you on the other side see this rope kind of.
But we're not. Hilgus doesn't come meet up with us.
I don't know what it.
Sorry.
I will make my way there, but
Okay.
I will.
Yeah, because I think we're trying to all be together.
Yeah. You make it around just in time to see this rope come coiling over the wall and down, and you guys see this too. You look around. There's nobody on this side of the wall. So yeah.
Semanas, go.
I
Look up here. Look up here.
look over here. Yeah, I'll go. I'll climb up.
Yep. You easily climb up the wall. You have to roll it.
I'd rather fail the
And
roll
keep
and
doing
just
it.
like keep doing it over and over
Yeah.
again.
You all clamber over the wall. Takes Hilgus a bit longer. You in your full plate?
He wears chainmail.
He wears
Chainmail. Okay, that's fine. That's easy. Then it's easy. It takes you a bit longer to lug yourself over, but you're the last one up. Actually, you're second to last. Shazim gives you the lift up, and Shazim nods his head, floats up, and then down.
That would have been good to know.
Whistle and a carpet comes and picks me up and brings me over.
I almost misty stepped up, but I was like, no, wait.
And you're
Resources.
all in this like corner where the circular keep meets the straight wall, kind of an acute angle.
Step one.
All right. Is there like one main door into the inner keep?
Yes. Yep. Its faces basically the same direction as the gateway.
Are there any guards there?
Yes, there are two actual guardsmen guarding the keep.
If there's any guards there, I want to do them.
All right. Should we try for distraction?
This I can do.
Oh. Very well then.
How far away?
Let's say they're like around the corner, probably 30 feet.
What are the other areas in the yard?
So you're like on the left side of the keep, looking out, or sorry, if you're looking at the keep, you're on the right side of the keep. Where you are is like the stables. There's not really much activity really going on over here. Then across the courtyard is the manor house where there's a couple people in front milling about, moving stuff. And then to the left of that is the gatehouse where there's another 4 guards, including the captain.
Okay.
And that's probably 100 feet away
Sure.
to that.
I am going to look for spots that, I can kind of creep along and like if I have to, misty step
Yeah.
to get further or closer to so I can use create water, which allows me to essentially make it may it rain.
Make it rain.
May it rain, bitches. In like a 30-foot area.
Okay.
So I want to do that obviously away from where we're trying to go,
Yeah.
and do that so that I can then, if I have to, misty step back towards where my friends are.
Yeah.
Go from like one point of like shadow to another.
How far away can you make it rain?
I have to be within 30 feet.
Okay. So you think you can sneak around the back of these stables and kind of sneak along the wall as it loops around to the front?
Yep.
And by the time you get to the end corner of the stables, there's like a little shed over there.
Yep.
You're probably about 30 feet away from the gatehouse.
All right. I will summon water.
Okay.
Create water just inside the gatehouse.
Okay.
So it's going to be raining on all the guards, and then start working my way back.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that does for us.
The idea was to pull people off of the front door, right?
Oh, okay. You're not doing it
To get everyone out.
at the inner guardhouse.
No. I'm doing it further out.
Okay.
So that it'll hopefully pull people like,
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, like
There'll be
come
a
see
reaction,
this
right.
magic thing that's happening.
Correct. Yep.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
I thought you were just making it rain on them, and I'm like, okay.
This sucks.
Now they're damp.
No, they're just mad. They got their hands on their hips.
Yeah, so you see this cloud form like over the gatehouse, and people are like, "What the?" And the rain starts to fall on them, and people are like running through the gate and like out into the city to get away from this like one little cloud, thinking it's some hellish demonic thing that's happening to them. And the people on the keep kind of run up to see like what's going on. So the keep is now unguarded as the two run towards the commotion.
We probably just start running as soon as they're past,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
I point my finger to the side at a like a loose boulder,
Yeah.
or something like that, and I cast catapult, and I like flip my finger to the side,
Yeah.
and I send it rocketing up and hit one of the guards that are up like on the wall.
Okay. Roll. Is that attack?
Good gracious.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
It is no, it flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts solid surface. If it's would strike a creature, they have to make a dex save.
Okay.
DC, what is that? My thing here, 15?
I actually have their stats. What am I
Oh,
doing?
13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Oh no, Go
lower.
Back. Go back.
Lower.
Why is this so low?
Way lower.
It's 8 plus.
Oh, it's
It's not-
8 plus,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
not 10.
What is
8 plus your level plus your mod.
dex?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your proficiency bonus plus your ability modifier.
What was it? Sorry.
13.
Okay. Yeah, you summon this catapult, this rock, and it goes hurtling through the air. And they're too transfixed on what's happening, and it knocks off their like shoulder. Roll damage if you want.
All right.
Dear Lord.
14. And I'm kind of trying to make it look like it could have
He just
come
lost
from
his head.
outside the wall.
So yeah, it like crushes his shoulder, and he tumbles off the wall.
Do you want me
Dead.
to roll wild magic? Dead?
Yeah.
Hilgus disappears because it was his
100%.
great-great-great-grandfather.
Roll damage. I mean, roll wild magic. Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
Oh, God, I thought that was close.
How do I kill you?
So,
That's a horrible thing for the DM to say.
Never what you want to hear.
so it's Back to the Future rules then.
Oh, start. Whatever.
You fade away.
Fade away.
Sorry.
As I'm fading, I sprint out to lay on hands.
Yeah, he's dead. Bandit B is dead. Okay.
And that's how your family became religious.
So you're all running, not really paying attention. This rock hurtles through the air, crushing into this guard who's on the wall.
And like smashing into the
Smashes-
stone tower.
Yeah, and
You need to make a
breaks
humanity check,
everything.
bro.
And he goes falling off the front of the wall, ne'er to be seen again.
Just a little casual
I think
murder.
I actually saw that skeleton on the way in.
And you make it to the keep
Shazam.
door.
Okay.
Victoria,
Is it locked?
Hilga, you hear them say, "The consul, he's here now."
Oh, the
in panic.
fun.
Of course he's here. Of course he's the one looking for it. Well, but
No.
I know that
They think
he's
I think-
here. I get it, but
Your catapult, I think it worked.
Yeah. We must move quick. Get inside. Is the door locked?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to pick it. And we're going to have to be lucky.
I am going to nat 20.
Whoa, lucky
Nice.
you re-rolled it and got a
Yep.
nat 20?
Yep.
Holy shit.
That is lucky.
You go to pick the lock and it's actually not locked. And
Nice.
it opens.
That's how the lock works. Like run inside, gesture, and then close it and lock it and like see if there's like a bar or anything to
Yeah,
put
there's
down
a big
over it.
like bar that you can put across the door.
I do that.
Yep. And you're in this foyer of this keep. There's two winding staircases that go up, and then behind them there's a staircase that goes down. It's empty right now. There's nobody in here.
Right, we must move quick and silence anyone we come across.
Sumanis, did you study the 13?
I have, yes.
And was there one that controlled time?
There was an artifact that did.
I'm running
You're right,
forward.
yeah,
looking
yeah,
back.
yeah.
You're all
following.
running.
We're kind of like, I imagine that like we have this conversation from running from like one corner to the next.
Okay.
You get to like the end of the hall, and you hear like commotion coming down. Someone coming down saying, "To arms!" All right, you hear this. You guys just hear You hear them say, "The Tory are here. The consul has denied the peace," and they're all running out the door. They get to the door and they're like shaking as you guys are running down the stairwell. They're like getting to the gate, and they're like, "What the?" And they like push open the bar and run out. And then you guys head downstairs.
I run back over and put the Hilgus.
You like stop, turn, and then go back up.
As they're doing that, I say,
Again?
you recognize the name they call.
It is a terrible one.
If they fear he is coming here, it is possible that he is coming for an artifact. It is possible that that is what we're looking for.
If it is, then
We have no choice but to destroy it.
Here, lift this. Find the way down.
I look at you, but I don't say anything. Like I just kind of lock eyes with you when you say destroy it. And when he yells, I start moving on to the next thing.
You're all running down these keep stairs. You get to what is probably the first level of a basement, and looks like a dungeon cell. Nobody in it, and you don't really see anybody down here. And then on the other end of it is another stairwell down. Actually, behind like a gate, there's a iron wrought gate in front of this stairwell that leads further down. That is locked.
Vite, we need you.
I whisper a little lucky phrase to myself, use my sorcery points to get a slot back.
Yep.
And run over to the gate.
Okay.
And try to unlock it.
Yep.
Okay.
I will. This time, I put my hand on your shoulder, and I just know that you're not going to do anything great. So,
What's on the other side of the bars?
The stairwell down.
is there? How is this locked?
1 lucky 18.
You rolled lucky again.
Yeah.
You're.
Is that your last
I
one?
love it.
I got 1 left.
You run up to the bars. You like no way I can pick this. And you look over, and the key ring is sitting there on the wall. And you grab it. And
We didn't need you, man.
you unlock the gate, swing it open, and run down.
Hilgus 100% thinks he can storm any keep without him at all.
Why does nobody lock doors here? This is just silly.
You run further down, and you get to the other side of those great iron doors that you were in the future on the other side of.
Watch out for the rocks.
By instinct, I kind of look
Pat
around.
you on the shoulder when you say that. I say, now you're catching on.
I will this time begin like tracing symbols in the air, and I'm going to give you bardic inspiration.
You get to the door and you're like, okay, you look around. Roll advantage because you've picked this lock before.
All right, nice. And D6?
D6, yep. He's a great team.
6 on the fucking bardic.
Nice.
Nice.
Plus 5, right?
Does it explode?
23.
Nice.
You're like, you get
Not bad
to
for
it.
second level.
And
Yeah.
Needed the inspiration. The other one, or the advantage. The other one was a 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you've unlocked. It's actually easier this time because it's not rusted to shit. So you're like, oh, this is okay. And here, and click, it opens. And the door swings open to this treasure room of these items sitting on those long oaken tables, gold, gems, lots of gems. Yeah, just a treasure trove of these like items, things that are they look like heirlooms. They look like things that in next to them are plaques written in a language you don't understand. You realize that these are plundered items, and there's like a little history of the item in the conquest.
Ooh.
This is 100% where you have to roll the art die for discovered treasury.
And you see that same display case with the plate armor that he was wearing on the way in displayed there.
Good call, Shazim.
Veet starts running that direction and thinking about what Shazim said and looking at the gems and kind of shaking his head. Then he kind of slows down for a second and says, well, I mean, it can't hurt. And he grabs a couple piles of gems as he runs by.
I close the door and lock it.
Yep. You can't lock it. You don't have a key to it.
I say
It's keyed on both sides.
I say, Veet, come back.
We have to get
You must lock this door.
lock it.
You must lock this door so that you know how to unlock this door in the future. Or in the future, which will be the past.
I run back. Get that. The trigger is.
Yes, I know.
You kind of switch places, and Shazim, you go over there and kind of feel around the back of this display case. Click the trigger, slides open without much effort, and there's the strongbox sitting there. It is locked.
As I'm locking the door, I also, assuming it's relatively easy, having picked it a couple times,
You're an expert now.
I have my dagger out, and I kind of just look to the sides for like a piece of stone that's a little bit loose.
Yeah.
And I just wriggle my dagger into it, roll it forward, and I take those pouches of gems and I tuck it behind it.
Now he's thinking in portals. Well
Push the
played.
rock back into place. Almost got it.
I say, the box was opened. It was not locked when we found it, and it had not been picked. Where is the key?
It must be here. I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to begin searching the room.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is that investigate?
Yeah.
I kind of look around the room and think to myself, my first instinct is maybe in his armor.
Yep.
While he's doing that, I'm going to cast Detect Evil.
Detect evil.
Detect good or evil.
Yeah. It's like
Detects undead, fey, celestial,
Dirty 20.
infernal, blah, 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 all that shit.
Okay. One sec. Dirty 20. You're searching around and you search the suit of armor and there's no key. What kind of dawns on you is that whoever found this item in the future, magic was still around. It was after the awakening, probably. Which means there are ways to open things without keys, picks, or anything. Yeah. You don't find a key anywhere. What was the travel skull?
That was Zabata. And
What would it be?
what was it? It was a compass.
Yeah. I mean, like, what would it be celestial or?
In terms of magic?
Yeah. Or like a detect good or evil kind of thing.
I don't. You want me to read Detect Evil?
Yeah.
I think a lot of I imagine that, yeah, it's sort of a neutral, right?
Yeah.
But
But it's Detect Good Evil is not really that.
yeah.
Anymore, yeah.
Celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead, or aberration.
Yeah, aberration.
I mean, it might be just weird.
You get, yeah. There's no specific feeling you get from it. It's just
Enough for me to know that it is one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was crafted by. You think it was crafted by somebody, probably one of the skulls.
I say, Sumanis,
He turns from the armor.
it is one of them.
I am beginning to believe that the box was opened not with a key, a physical key, but with a magical one.
I do not know this magic.
Nor do I.
Well, not all magic keys are clean. I reach and grab my lucky coin
Yeah.
and I hurl it at the lock
Yeah.
and I cast Chaos Bolt.
Okay. Okay.
It explodes into a time hole.
Yeah. Time hole.
I hit.
Yep. Okay.
Wild Magic Surge.
What does Chaos Bolt do?
First roll to see if you do wild magic.
Random. Oh, also, John, you know that as the dungeon master, you can just say that he has to roll wild magic, right?
Oh, yeah.
That is a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if he were to shoot a chaos bolt at a magical artifact.
Shooting at a lock.
Yeah. It's at the lock. It's fine.
Force.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. That actually, I think in game terms, that does double damage
more
on,
damage
than objects.
On an object.
objects.
So plus 1d6. 17.
Double 34. So, yeah, you he like puts it on the table and you cast Chaos Bolt at it. You get that same lurching feeling, and the bolt kind of right before it leaves your like finger, it goes like fire, ice, and then force goes blasting into this strong box, and it just gets obliterated.
Well done.
And you see like coins and some like gems and like a necklace go flying, but also in the air you see this tumbling hourglass kind of.
I got it.
Roll dex save.
Oh no.
If he misses
Oh
this,
no, the worst person to get it.
14.
Okay. You say, I got it. And you see Hilgus in a great feat of dexterity just reach out, grab it, and like skid on the ground with the hourglass in his right hand.
I hold my breath.
What do we do now?
You hear like the scattering of coins and gold and gems after the chaos settles down.
Was that what you meant?
I look at the box.
Yep.
Is it damaged?
Yeah.
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 We have
It's like
already
the top has been blown off and yeah.
we have already changed things.
We have.
What happens if I do this?
The sand just goes.
Just
What do we do now? We have the thing. It is far more powerful than we thought it was.
It must be found again,
It is found by the consul, yes.
but it is eventually taken from him.
Do we dare to change history?
And Simonis like puts his like head down, like looking at the floor.
I must try something. Perhaps it is foolish, but I am too curious. I must do the thing that I'm sure all mythos have wished they had the chance to do. I'm going to touch it and use my spirit touch ability.
What does that do?
Probably kills me, to be honest.
It does. It's kind of like
You want to read the description?
yeah,
Dan?
sure. The description is I have it here. All right, mythos. His brain blows up. Hands of history. When someone handles an object for any length of time, they leave a psychic impression on the item. A mythos can read these sensations, learning who handled the object, when they last held it, and what was done with it recently. These visions are seldom clear and or detailed, registering more like kind of a psychic snapshot. Although most of the visions concern the last person to handle the item, a long-time owner leaves a stronger impression than someone who held the object briefly. Gleaning the information requires the mythos to hold the object and enter a shallow trance, and they are only marginally aware of their surroundings. In a system, the player rolls D20 plus level. The difficulty is determined by the age of the impressions and the mental and spiritual strength of the person or event that left them.
Okay.
That could work in kind of a sliding scale. It could be
D20
super powerful.
plus my
Level.
level.
Yep.
Oh,
It's a fucking time artifact, so it could.
yeah. The DC is infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So if you roll in that 20, it's fine.
17, so 19.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to add. I just glanced at this chart. By the way, if Josh
I'm
had
so
rolled a one,
annoyed. I haven't been able to roll wild
if you had rolled a one and then you proceeded to roll a 77 or 78, you would have polymorphed yourself into a sheep. Imagine that. Imagine that happening in the middle of a fucking adventure.
Combat.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me think about this. You get like this flash of a more concrete vision of this item being like ripped out of somebody's hands as they lay there looking up at a plated warrior with a sword through them, and then walking out, and then you kind of follow along with that person getting on his horse, riding out of a burned village with his soldiers and a cart in tow, which you think is the impression from what just happened, the Duke who stole it. And then you kind of get this feeling of being lost for a long time. And then what does Strato say to him?
Oh god, I can't even. Because Strato saw a lot of things when he was falling through time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little deep baseball.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Can you help me?
You see this Goliath like staring at you in a void of space and nothingness. Falling. You're both falling.
It is I who need help. I do not know how to return to my time.
But you have the artifact.
I do.
As do I.
You're falling, and you look at it, and then you're back, and you like get that vertigo feeling of falling, like you just were in the middle of falling, and you're back in this keep in the vault
Is his nose bleeding?
with the artifact in your hand. You feel lightheaded and woozy, and
I sit down on the table.
yeah. As you're observing this, you feel a rumble in the earth. This deep.
Yeah, that's I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably a bad thing. We should leave, yes?
How do we do that?
I do not know, but we have already changed things. This box is not what it was when we found it.
Nobody has mending?
How much do I know about I mean, I'm sure I've studied them a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you want me to roll to see how much I know about these things? And I don't want to just like drop a bunch of knowledge that my character might not have.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
I don't know if it'd be Arcana or History or a combination of both. I have both in the same amount, so I'll just roll and add.
Yeah, whatever it is.
9er.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the person you were falling with, you have no idea. You know this is some sort of...
But do I know that like that they're intelligent, that you can like that we could like actually talk to it and try to deal with it?
I mean, you do know that there are magic items that are intelligent. Which ones they are, you don't know.
Sumana says, it is interesting. This, he reaches into his like cloak and pulls out the cynosure coin.
Mm-hmm.
This is made of the same magic. It is time.
Yes.
It is possible that somehow the tool will react. That calling with this may bring us back.
Since we already changed things, do you think it would be okay if I took the armor there because he's not going to need it anymore, and it looks quite nice.
As you're discussing another rolling
think-
earthquake, stronger this time.
Come with us, but you may try.
I will try.
I think you're the only one of us, Sumanis, that has used this type of magic.
He's nodding.
So take it and try to wield it. Try to call upon it as you would that coin.
This I can do. He kind of drops down to one knee and he takes out a piece of chalk and he starts drawing glyphs in a circle large enough that we can all stand in. And and then he takes the hourglass from you and he puts it in the middle of the circle, and holding the coin and putting his hand upon the hourglass, kneeling, he's going to start chanting and start trying to pull at the magic in the familiar way of trying to pull at the coin.
Okay.
This could be very anticlimactic, but that's what he will try to do. And the glyphs that he's used are basically the glyphs that he knows for inclusion.
Yep.
Meaning that anyone within it will be affected by the same magic he's calling on.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. and
While he's doing this,
roll an arcana.
Sure.
Can I try to assist him?
Yep. Yeah, you can give him an advantage.
So, I don't know if I'm supposed to roll or anything.
what do you want to do to assist?
So
Mercy?
what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it is possible that you can reason with this thing. They're said to have a mind of their own, some items of great power, and these are the most powerful. It has a path. That path may not be a line, but to set it on its path, perhaps it would make a deal.
It is my hope you will all be there with me.
Yeah. Ours too. Maybe, depending where you end up.
We are ready, yes? I shall begin. He starts chanting, and I will make an arcana and
Advantage?
advantage.
Yeah, advantage, yeah. As he's doing this, the rumble becomes more severe, and you hear things hit the iron door from the outside.
I got with advantage, I got a 15.
Okay. Okay.
We're level 2.
No,
My highest bonus is a plus
this
2.
was not planned. But it's fine. You stare into this as the rubble starts to come down the stairwell and hit the door. Kind of, V, you're like, your spidey senses are tingling. You're like, we are going to be buried alive if we stay here.
But we didn't find skeletons. So
As you two are kind of staring at the circle in this item, you kind of the everything around you starts to fade in darkness, and you just see this item, and you see the sand move backwards along the hourglass, moving up
Sick.
against gravity. And you hear a voice inside of you say, "And what will you do? What will you do with me? I was made for great things. I was found by great people."
I want to break free.
Sumanis says, I can only assure you that I will put you on a path of greatness if I can return to my time with the people who travel with me.
Your time. But I am already on a path of greatness in your time. Those who find me will use me. Will you use me?
If that is what I must.
I was created for power.
Oh, I'm just thinking of all the terrible things we did. Yes. If this is the way to see the world, to see time, then yes.
You are looking for my brothers and sisters, aren't you? In your time.
My time, I believe many of them are already among us.
Where you are?
Yes?
You will bring me to them.
Good.
If that is what you wish.
Power, yes. We will go back. The sand finishes moving up. And then you're all in this vault, empty, with a gaping hole in the side of the foundation. The ruins of this armor tossed about. That display case was ripped off and thrown across the room. The rotten wood in the corner. All of these tables were thrown over and smashed.
Like someone ransacked the entire place.
Enraged. And you have it in the middle. The sand starts going back down.
I pick it up.
It's definitely not the same.
I fear, Shazim, that your advice, it is alive.
Does he have it still?
Mhm. The sand is... And even when you kind of... If he like has it in his hand and it turns, the sand still goes down. Still follows its own path.
It was never found here, which means it never came to the heroes of the North. They did not have it when they faced the council. It is possible when we walk out that door, we are in a different world. One where your people rule.
I walk out the door.
V walks over to the corner and kicks away the stone.
It's already kicked away. Actually, hold on.
I use my last lucky point.
You tear the stone out, and there are however much you stuffed inside there, gems.
Well, use your coin, I suppose.
Are you coming?
Let us see if we may return home. Let us see if we have caused a great harm.
We go. Just think of your home. You hear that voice in your head.
I say, come, let us see the sky. And I climb out to the top of that hole that we came out of. And once everyone is together...
It's raining. Overcast.
Apocalypse.
The whole world is just scorched.
I toss the 2 bags of gems
Cronenberg monster waddles past.
in my pouch and then start walking out and kick through some stones. And I look down and I see the piece of copper I tossed in the cart earlier.
Yep.
A few hundred years ago. I pick it up and kind of rub it.
Yep.
Stick it back in my pouch. Shazam, new lucky coin. Let's see where we are.
Are you ready to go home?
Very
You
well.
hear it tell you.
Very well. I close my eyes and I think of like kind of the curve of the road where you begin to see the Tradicium.
I say, Semanis, I once found a powerful artifact. I thought it a great gift. I thought it's something I could control.
In the middle of that sentence, you are back at the Tradicium. At that corner, you're still talking.
I thought that... I look around.
My hand with the hourglass slowly goes down to my side.
I feel them. A good deal indeed. And that's where we'll end.
What did we just do?
Oh, boy.
And one shot on a cliffhanger. Sorry.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed another installment of our Choose Your Own Adventure series. Our intro music is by Wilhelm Scream. Our outro music is by Antti Martikainen. Scores are by Antti Martikainen and Adrian von Ziegler. Find links to check out all of them, as well as links to all of our social media, bonus episodes, and a lot more stuff at our website, nastygramrpg.com. See you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.